Imagine you could twist a dial and the entire feel of your reality shifts. Colors a bit brighter, sounds softer, problems smaller, possibilities bigger. No apps, no devices, just air. That dial already exists. It's your breath. Most of us breathe like we scroll, fast, shallow, and unconscious. But the way you breathe is not just a background process. It is a master control system for your brain, your emotions, and the stories you tell yourself about what's possible. In this video, we're going to explore 5 breathing patterns that, quite literally, shape reality as you experience it. Some are rooted in hard neuroscience, some in ancient traditions, and all of them are practical. By the end, you'll know exactly how to use your breath to switch states, from panic to presence, from scattered to focused, from numb to vividly alive. Let's start by redefining what breathing actually is. We usually think of breathing as just staying alive, but biologically it's a remote control for your nervous system, and psychologically it's how your brain decides what kind of world you're in. Slow, deep breaths tell your body, we're safe. Explore. Fast, shallow breaths scream, we're in danger, survive. Those signals change your heart rate, hormones, and even what your brain chooses to notice. In other words, the breath pattern you live in daily quietly edits your reality, what you see, what you ignore, and how you react. In this video, we'll unpack 5 specific breathing patterns and the states they create: clarity, courage, creativity, emotional release, and deep, grounded presence. I'll walk you through each one step by step so you can try them as you watch. If you want more content like this, quietly take a deep breath in, exhale, and consider subscribing and turning on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay with me until the end. The final pattern ties everything together. Before we touch advanced patterns, we need a baseline, noticing how you're already breathing. Most people are shocked when they discover their default breath is basically a stress script running on loop. Right now, without changing anything, just observe. Are you breathing through your nose or mouth? Is the breath shallow in the chest, or does your belly gently expand? How long is your exhale compared to your inhale? This simple scan reveals the reality channel you've been tuned to. Rapid, upper chest, mouth breathing keeps your brain in lookout mode, filtering the world for threats. Slow, nasal, belly breathing opens your perception to nuance, connection, and possibility. For the next minute, try this. Close your mouth, inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your lower ribs and belly expand, then exhale naturally. Don't force it. You're not trying to fix anything yet, just building the superpower of awareness. You can't reshape reality with your breath until you see the pattern you currently live inside. Pattern 1 is coherence breathing, sometimes called heart breathing. It's about bringing your heart, lungs, and brain into rhythm so your whole system sings the same song. Here's the basic pattern. Inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. Exhale through your nose for 5 seconds. Smooth and continuous, no pauses. Do this for at least 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. When you breathe this way, your heart rate starts to gently rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale in a smooth wave. This balanced rhythm sends a signal up the vagus nerve that says, all systems safe. Your emotional centers calm down, your prefrontal cortex, the planning, focus, and creativity hub, comes online. Subjectively, reality feels less jagged. Conversations feel slower, more spacious. Problems look less like walls and more like puzzles. Use coherence breathing before big meetings, creative work, or difficult talks. You're literally tuning your body into a reality where clarity and collaboration are more available. Pattern 2 is box breathing, a favorite of special forces operators and high-pressure professionals for a reason. It edits your perception of threat. The structure is simple, like tracing a square with your breath. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through the nose for 4. Hold empty for 4. Repeat that cycle for several minutes. Those gentle breath holds introduce controlled stress. You're teaching your nervous system. We can feel intensity and stay composed. Physiologically, this balances oxygen and carbon dioxide and steadies your heart rate. Psychologically, your sense of time stretches. Situations that felt urgent a minute ago suddenly look more manageable. In real life, that changes reality. You stop reacting to every email, notification, or disagreement like it's a battlefield. Instead, you gain a microspace between trigger and response. Box breathing is perfect before public speaking, tough negotiations, or whenever your world feels like it's moving too fast and too loud. Pattern 3. Cycled hyperventilation, popularized by methods like Wim Hof. This one doesn't just calm you, it can flip your reality into high definition. Here's a simple version. Take 30-40 fast, deep breaths through the nose or mouth. Big inhale into belly and chest, then relaxed exhale like a wave. On the last exhale, let the air out and hold with empty lungs until your body naturally wants to breathe. Then take a deep recovery inhale, hold for 10 to 15 seconds, and release. That's one round. Expect tingling, warmth, maybe lightheadedness. You're intentionally changing blood chemistry, lowering carbon dioxide, and shifting how oxygen is delivered to tissues. This can temporarily quiet the inner critic and amplify sensation. Used respectfully, this pattern is great before cold exposure, creative sessions, or when you feel emotionally stuck. It can make internal blockages feel more transparent and movable, like static clearing from a radio. Caution: skip this if you're pregnant, have serious cardiovascular issues, or are driving or in water. Pattern 4 is extended exhale breathing, the nervous system equivalent of slowly dimming the lights in a room. If anxiety makes your world feel small and sharp, this pattern gently softens the edges. The rule: make your exhale longer than your inhale. For example, inhale through the nose for a count of 4, exhale through the nose for a count of 6 or 8. No strain, just a smooth, sigh-like release. This lengthened exhale activates the parasympathetic branch of your nervous system, which downregulates heart rate and stress hormones. Your brain stops scanning so aggressively for danger and starts allowing neutral or even pleasant details back into awareness. Try this when your mind is racing at night, before important conversations, or right after something triggers you. As your body unwinds, that everything is collapsing feeling loosens. The same circumstances remain, but your sense of suffocation lifts. Reality becomes less like an emergency broadcast and more like a landscape you can walk through thoughtfully. Pattern 5. Alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana, from yogic traditions. This pattern doesn't just relax you, it can rebalance how your brain processes reality. Here's how. Use your right hand. Gently close your right nostril with your thumb. Inhale slowly through the left. At the top, close left nostril with your ring finger. Release the right and exhale through the right. Then inhale through the right, switch fingers again, and exhale through the left. That full sequence is one cycle. This practice appears to influence activity between the brain's hemispheres and can stabilize mood and attention. Subjectively, racing thoughts begin to line up. Emotional noise quiets enough for you to hear your own deeper signals. Alternate nostril breathing is especially useful when you feel mentally scattered or emotionally lopsided, too analytical, too emotional, too wired. A few minutes can shift your internal experience from fragmented tabs, all screaming at once, to a single coherent window where you can actually focus and choose. Beyond named techniques, there's a powerful pattern I call the decision breath. It's less about relaxation and more about aligning your inner and outer reality when you're at a crossroads. Process. First, bring to mind a real decision, big or small. Then take 3 slow, deep nasal breaths. On each inhale, mentally state one option: stay, leave, say yes, say no. On each exhale, scan your body for subtle feedback: tightness, opening, heaviness, lightness. You're not looking for mystical messages. You're using breath to quiet noise so your nervous system can weigh in. Our bodies often register long-term consequences faster than our thinking mind. Repeat several cycles, switching options. Notice which breath feels like it moves more freely, which exhale lands with more relief or integrity. The decision breath helps you experience how each choice might shape your future reality, not in abstract concepts, but as felt truth in the present moment. Let's talk about emotional release breathing, the pattern that helps move stuck feelings so they stop quietly scripting your reality from the shadows. Find privacy, sit or lie down. Start with a few slow nasal breaths, then begin breathing slightly faster and deeper through the mouth, like gentle connected waves. Inhale and exhale with no pauses between, but not as intense as hyperventilation. Imagine breathing directly into the center of whatever you're feeling: anger, grief, shame, numbness. After 1 to 3 minutes, let the breath find its own pace. If tears, sound, or shaking arise, that's your body discharging old survival responses. Stay kind to yourself. When unprocessed emotion is stuck, it keeps painting your world with the same color. Every neutral situation looks like a repeat of old pain. By breathing into and through these sensations, you reclaim perceptual space. The outer world stops looking like a threat replay and more like something fresh where new outcomes are actually possible. Now, let's combine breath with imagination through intention-anchored breathing. This is where shaping reality moves from metaphor into practice. Choose a specific intention. I respond calmly under pressure, or I show up fully for my work, or I allow supportive relationships. Keep it grounded and believable. Use a calm pattern like coherence breathing: 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. On each inhale, silently repeat your intention. On each exhale, imagine a version of you already living it. See a short scene, feel what that body feels like. By pairing intention, imagery, and steady breath, you're training your nervous system to experience this state as familiar, not fantasy. The more familiar it feels inside, the less resistance you have to noticing and stepping into matching opportunities outside. Do this daily for a few minutes. Over time, your breath becomes a ritual gateway into the reality you're choosing, instead of unconsciously rehearsing the one you're trying to leave behind. To really own these tools, you need a simple daily ritual. Otherwise, they'll stay as cool ideas and not reality-shifting habits. Here's a framework. Morning: 3 to 5 minutes of coherence breathing or alternate nostril breathing to set your default reality to clear and grounded instead of already behind. Midday: 2 minutes of box breathing before big tasks or meetings to create space between stimulus and response. Evening: 5 minutes of extended exhale breathing to downshift out of fight or flight, so your nights aren't just replaying the day's stress. Add in cycled hyperventilation or emotional release once or twice a week when you want deeper resets. By attaching each pattern to a time and context, you transform them into cues. Over days and weeks, you'll notice that your baseline perceptions change. Less catastrophic thinking, more nuance, quicker recovery from setbacks. The outer world may not change overnight, but how you meet it absolutely will. There's one more subtle pattern: social synchrony breathing, using shared breath rhythm to reshape the emotional climate of a room. Next time you're in a tense meeting or difficult conversation, notice the collective breath. People hold their breath, sigh sharply, or breathe fast and shallow. Without saying a word, begin to slow your own breath. Gentle nasal inhales, longer exhales. Often others unconsciously synchronize. Heart rates drop, voices soften, and the field becomes more collaborative. You've just used your breath to alter shared reality. You can also do this intentionally with friends, partners, or groups. Sit together, close your eyes, and agree on a simple pattern: 4 seconds in, 6 out, for a few minutes. Afterward, notice how different the space feels. We talk a lot about changing the world through ideas and arguments, but our breath communicates faster than our words. By mastering your own pattern, you quietly become a tuning fork that invites everyone around you into a calmer, saner version of reality. Let's zoom out and connect the dots. You've seen that breathing is not just a survival mechanism, it's a steering wheel for perception. Coherence breathing harmonizes heart and brain, making reality feel clearer and less hostile. Box breathing builds composure and pressure, so time slows down and options reappear. Cycled hyperventilation jolts you into heightened awareness, breaking through numbness and stuck patterns. Extended exhale breathing melts anxiety's grip, turning emergencies into navigable challenges. Alternate nostril breathing rebalances mental and emotional processing. The decision breath helps you feel the truth of your choices. Emotional release breathing clears old scripts that keep repainting the present with the past. Intention anchored breathing rehearses the future you actually want to inhabit. Daily rituals and social synchrony then weave all of this into your routines and relationships. Same life, same circumstances, but through different breath patterns, your inner and outer reality become more spacious, responsive, and aligned with who you actually are. Now it's your turn to experiment. For the next 7 days, pick just two patterns, one for activation, like coherence or cycled hyperventilation, if appropriate for you, and one for downshifting, like extended exhale or box breathing. Commit to using them at the same times each day, and notice how your experience of stress, focus, and possibility begins to change. If this video gave you practical tools, or even just a new perspective on something as basic as breathing, go ahead and hit subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss upcoming deep dives on nervous system mastery, focus, and behavior change. It also really helps this kind of content reach more people. Drop a comment sharing which breathing pattern you're going to try first and what reality shift you're aiming for. And if you found this valuable, consider sharing it with one person who needs a little more space and calm in their life. Take one last slow breath with me and carry that into whatever comes next.